Welcome to the B2T show, where we empower Christian patriots with truth. This is Rick, your host. Well, he calls the China virus, right? But way back in 2007, here is this article: severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus as an emerging and re-emerging infection, saying in 2007 that the presence of large reservoir of SARS-CoV-like viruses in horseshoe bats, together with the culture of eating exotic mammals in southern China, is a time bomb. I'm going to invite Gene to come on anytime during these decodes of the to talk about any of this. The China virus, worth remembering. And here's a YouTube that actually shows Pence when he gave us this 43 minutes. This is way back in October of 2018, where we were completely warned about what China was doing and the problems they possess and how they're stealing our intellectual property, how they're trying to take over the world militarily. They're buying up all our debt. All these things we were warned about by and Q linked to this back then, I believe, back near that time frame. So point is he's just saying the China's virus, worth remembering, that Q told us about it, that Trump told us about it, Pence told us about it. Wuhan Institute of Virology, geolocation, first biosafety level 4 lab, 2015. City, province, origin, hot zone, geolocation. Obviously, he's wanting to let us know that it's not in the United States. It was in China, right? Harvard University professor and 2 Chinese nationals charged in 3 separate China-related cases. So basically, we have people from Harvard working in the Wuhan lab, doing all this type of stuff, being bought off. I'm not going to go through this, but you will find this in the show notes if you want to dig into it, or you can find it on qanon.pub, qmap.pub, right? All those sites that I link above my head here a lot of times is a great place to really find out what's going on and all the things I don't have time to cover. You can go dig into and dig. That's what QAnon wants us to do, is think for ourselves. Unbeknownst to Harvard University, beginning in 2011, Leiber became a strategic scientist in Wuhan University of Technology, WUT, in China, and was a contractual participant in China's 1,000 Talents plan from in or about 2012 to 2017. Rapid spread. Now that's in brackets. That's the beautiful thing. So it's all, obviously the brackets is up here in the first biosafety lab for lab 215 as well. So Q continues. And he puts a link to the Epoch Times here. And it talks about 21 million fewer cell phone users in China may suggest a high CCP virus death toll. So they're telling us that only a few thousand people died, right? But here we have 21 million people not using their cell phones. That's a scary number if you think about that, right? Scary number. Shows that this was much more of a toll on the Chinese, or they used it to clean house of people they didn't like. One of the two. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Gene.
Yeah, my contact in China, young man, thank you, sir. The CCP is no longer reporting cases, so they don't have any new cases because they're no longer reporting them or taking them. They're just taking people that come in that seem to be infected to holding camps with barbed wire. That's it.
Jeez. So they really don't care about people, do they?
No, they're back to 95% production because you either go back to work or you go to a camp.
Wow. They're 95% production because they're worried about wealth versus anything else.
Worried about wealth and to heck with their people.
Yeah, even if they continue to get the virus, etc. So Q continues here. It says, end POTUS rallies, end POTUS economic gains, end POTUS unemployment gains, end POTUS ABCD ... Weekend prior to the presidential election. And look at that, it's in brackets as well. I love it. What that says is that we are not going to end POTUS's ABCD ... This is in brackets too, the kill brackets. They are not going to weaken prior to the presidential election. So that's our plans, though. Their plans was to end all his rallies, to end all his economic gains, to end his unemployment gains, and to end everything else great that he was doing to bringing America great again. But do you trust the plan? Do you trust the Lord? Do you trust what Mark Taylor's been predicting? Do you trust what Amanda Grace is saying, what's going on? if you trust those things, you should not be panicking your friends and family. In fact, you are being called, I believe, the red-pilled Christian patriots that have been in this movement, you're called to fear not and to calm your family and friends with just basic information. Give them some, we're going to give you lots of scripture to share with them, okay? This talks about delay U.S.-China trade negotiations, China previous Biden plus VP as president, shelter Biden public appearances, shelter Biden debates. Yeah, just think about that. So Biden is talking for 7 minutes while Bernie was talking 45 minutes, right? So they're hiding Biden, hiding the debates, trying to just and then do what Nancy's trying to do right now is allow voter fraud, no voter ID, early elections. Everybody has to register at the same time. All these rules they've been trying to ramrod through that are just will destroy the republic is exactly what they're trying to get into this bill. And we're going to get to that in a second. Push new revised POTUS 2020 vote by mail unsecure. Can you believe this? They want to say, hey, if they keep it going long enough, everybody has to vote by mail, and you don't have voter ID. So, and they're even pushing for all these different type of things where one person can go grab it's called vote harvesting, where one person can go to somebody's house and bring all the votes in. Well, you can't track whether they've gone to the house. They could just be printing them up or writing them in, right? Complete voter fraud is what they're trying to get through in this bill right now. Here's Tom Fitton talking about it a little bit right here. He says, warning, leftists using pretext of the coronavirus outbreak to push unsecure vote by mail. Free for all. No voter ID anywhere for 2020 elections. Hashtag how to steal an election. Now, the better hashtag that I saw that's trending on Twitter right now is go here, like this. This is why you need a Twitter. Retweet with a comment and say, Pelosi, watch what pops up, hates Americans. Hashtag Pelosi hates Americans. That's trending on Twitter. At least it was a couple hours ago. So come and help me. Go to Twitter and retweet everything that talks about what Pelosi's trying to do right now. She's trying to get climate change stuff through. She's trying to get all these Democratic things that they've always wanted that would never get through Americans, let alone a Republican Senate. And she's trying to get them threatening. She walked out saying, no, you put the climate change in. You make all the airlines be completely using different types of fuel by 2025. It's like completely crippling stuff for our companies with climate change, with windmills, with all kinds of credits, trying to bail out the post office versus working through the way it should happen. They're to put insane stuff in this bill. It has nothing to do with it. All right. So again, Pelosi hates Americans. Hashtag. Let's get that going. That'll be fun to put that through. So that's Tom Vitt. You can see Praying Medic saying the storm is coming. And I think it's actually here, as we'll talk about some of the military stuff happening in here in a second. This is a long one. So now it goes, what is mathematical? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Push D's wish list, unrelated items, CV bill to the coronavirus bill, voting amends. So they want to basically just put every bit of crap. She had a 1,400-page bill that had all their crap in it, including all the voter fraud stuff and the climate change stuff, etc. And there is a beautiful, this guy right here does a great list. He actually has a video that's even better. But look at this. We're talking about bailing out all current debt of the Postal Service, requiring early voting, required same-day voter registration, 10K bailout for student loans, companies accepting assistance. A third of the board members have to be chosen by the workers. So all these things that would kill a lot of the companies. Full offset of airline emissions by 2025, greenhouse gas statistics and individual flights. They have the collective bargaining thing, a $15 minimum wage, which kills many, many companies, as you know. Permanent paid leave actually results in jobs losses, just like when you go to the McDonald's now, you have to order it yourself versus people ordering for you because they can't afford the minimum wage. And so the Democrats see this opportunity crisis not to help the American people, but to hold an emergency relief bill hostage until they get their radical wish list. How long will Arkansans, because he's an Arkansan congressman, and Americans across the country have to wait. So again, go retweet with comment and put hashtag, and when you start typing in Pelosi, you're going to see it. Pelos, Pelosi hates Americans. It's trending like man, and finally, Twitter's not taking it down. At least they hadn't taken it down a couple hours ago. So that is a very long Q post. Here's the end of it. What is the mathematical probability this occurs? The time bomb explodes at the exact point in time that allows for maximum damage above prior to the presidential election. Outside of the standard deviation, who benefits the most? Mueller failed. Impeachment failed. Why was it critical important impeachment be rushed in the House? MSM, Democratic Party, Hollywood narratives failed. The coup failed. The Democratic Party leading nominee established Super Tuesday prior to lockdown. Takeover. Sanders eliminated, Biden front. Occam's razor simply states that of any given set of explanations for an event occurring, the simplest one is the most likely to be the correct one. Q. You just listened to the Blessed to Teach show. You're now empowered with the truth.